How long is this? This is an hour and 15. No way. And look where he is. No. 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 So, Alan has a secret Cornish bolt hole, he says. Right? Secret Cornish bolt hole. And we've seen that funny frame before where he's in that funny room and there's like steps up to the ceiling. It's in his early days. In fact, you can see that here. I'll show you. Because if you search for Armchair Detective on Rumble, there are some other people on Rumble that aren't the Armchair Detective that look like they're the Armchair Detective, but they're not. And this is the room. See this strange room?
Well, congratulations. This is formerly the Armchair Detective.
This is back in his heyday. But he used to go in this fucking weird room and he called it his Cornish bolt hole. Now, the weird thing about this room is it's got steps up to the ceiling and there's a skylight. But if you live in a room with an attic, you don't have permanently built steps into your attic. Yeah, unless you've got like a weird attic room, but the skylight's got light coming through it. So if you left the lights on in the attic, maybe that's out to the outdoors. Yeah, maybe it's out to the outdoors. But if it is out to the outdoors, what is this, a cellar room? And why have you got steps up leading out of the ceiling? Usually, because off to the right-hand side of frame that you can't see is where he walks off frame and goes through some stairs and up and down some stairs. That's the rest of the house over there in the right-hand side. But there's also a sort of framing panel here that's made out of very light material that could be a wardrobe panel, but it seems to be letting light through. So where's that light coming from? Is that the stairs behind this panel? Is this a room constructed in a stairwell? Why is there step coming out of here? It's very, very strange. And this has got that black bed with the black thing. And we surmised different theories, right? And one theory is that this room is a complete shambolic mock-up, like made out of wood and frame, so that you've made a fake room that you can do stuff in. And when you do stuff in it, nobody, like, let's say the police say, right, I'm going to try and trace this room I've seen pictures on this room of this horrible abuse happening in this room. So I'm going to trace this room and I'm going to trace it because of these individual distinctive features. And then when they try to, there's no such room and it doesn't exist and they can just take this down out of wood and burn it. Like, is this a set? But a boat, yes, big up Snoodiroo. He does look like he's in a boat. A lot of people have suggested this is a boat, and this is why the steps go up and it goes out there. And sometimes we've seen Alan's live stream rock back and forth, and I've said that he's rocking the desk and that the camera is attached to the top of the laptop and it's rocking. But other people have said that it's possible that he's in a boat and something passes by the boat on the canal and it makes it rock like that. So this boat theory has been fielded in the past. I don't know if these streams rock. It was only once or twice that the streams did rock, and he has said, I go to a Cornish bolt hole and we've got these old streams that are like this. Okay, why does he do that? Right, he might be I do wonder when fucking hell, you're gonna like this. So when Alan was on the internet on Smule, he enabled his account John Bray, and John Bray is a Cornish holiday company. Cornwall's near where Alan lives. Devon, Cornwall, it's down in the same place, south of England, and they do these holiday lets. And I can tell you for a fact that trafficked sex workers are moved around rented properties. Like there's a crossover between totally legit companies that rent out holiday lets and other people that don't have totally legit companies that rent out different properties and jump people around them as like prostitutes and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So there's like this weird connection with the name John Bray, and Alan used that name as his account for Smule, so it's just a weird connection, and that took me to this. But it's possible. Alan's also said in the past that he's got a friend, because once he went out, he was getting really eggy about us trolls, and he went away for a weekend and he went to a little holiday camping. It was like a little. The picture's not on his Facebook anymore, but it was a picture of him painting, and he was like in a. Like a shed. I want to say shed. It's like a holiday home cottage thing made out of wood, not a proper house, but like you get chalet, like a little chalet. He was in a little chalet doing his painting. So he was like, my friend has let me use this holiday home they have for a weekend, so I don't have to pay for it, and I'm not spending your money, but I am having a break. So Alan's got this like history of going away to this strange place. And being strange when he's there. And the last time he did it, when I was watching, was that break when he went away to do some painting. And the other time he did it was, and that's where I got Cornish bolt hole from, because he described it as such. But also Philip Schofield said that when he went away. But the other thing that Alan did that's weird about that is, when the last time he did it was when he said, when Nonskate happened, he said that his house could be burned down and people could attack him and kill him because they could say, I'm saying he's a paedophile, so people would try and kill him. And he moved away, like he moved somewhere else. He did streams from a different room for like 3 to 5 days. He said he had to move home. Like he said he had to leave his home and that he was staying with relatives. But, he just did streams from this nondescript white room that did do the rocking. So what is a Cornish bolt hole? I know. The funny thing about a Cornish bolt hole is that if you type it in, it's the exact phrase. There's actually a website called Cornish bolt holes. But in the news, bondage bolt hole by the sea, 50 Shades of Grey author demolishes Cornish bungalow. There's this one about Philip Schofield, who was like done for noncing on the telly recently. Glum Philip Schofield clutches vape as he emerges from Cornish bolt hole. So they say it. I don't know. Alan's cottoned onto that some way. But yes, we've got this weird history of Alan doing this. And here he is. No wonder he's not been on his lives. He's not even in his house. Where is he? Strange room with blue. Strange room with blue. Yeah, let's go. I mean, I'm probably not going to get through the whole hour and 15 minutes of this, but this is glorious. I'm saying he kind of got out of the country, not on the money he's got.
Hello. Hope you can hear me and see me.
Whoa.
Hope you can.
Don't turn it up that loud, you fucking nutter.
First person to say hello will win a special prize.
Notice he's not shouting, he's been kind of quiet with his voice and he turned up the gain really loud, so there might be other people around that he doesn't want to disturb.
Elephant.
What?
Elephant.
So Alan doesn't own this elephant, yeah? So he's maybe staying with one of his relatives who's got children. He's in the children's bedroom. Is he in a child's room? Yeah. Good call. Like, it's a strange doorway though. Like the length of the door behind him and the space of it is very strange. Like in UK, we don't tend to have these pastel blue walls that don't. Like, is that a cupboard behind him or a closet? You might say in America. Like, it's a very strange sort of thing. Like, I've not seen many rooms look like this, so to speak. And yeah, it doesn't have it seems to have some sort of, I think that might be a blind for a window, I think it might be a really long window blind. Like, it might have like a pulley on the right hand side, just hanging down there.
In the room.
Like, shut up, Alan. Like, it might have, is that some kind of pull string there? Like, we're detectives. Alan's the armchair detective, and we're the detectives. Watching the detective. He's got his elephant in the room. I'll tell you what as well, I don't know why you would grab for that and do that. Like, what? Like, even if you saw it there, you might think, well, I can see that child's toy there, but maybe it's not a good idea for me to grab it and bring it into the show.
Can you see me?
Can you see you? Yes. Don't you know about how you stream after 5 years?
Riff Raff? Yes. Okay. Good evening. I'm a little bit chilly. So.
And he's wearing that Club de Demont, which is a French t-shirt, but it's also something to do with poker. So it does make me wonder.
I'm cuddling the elephant in the room. My chat tonight...
He fucking loves putting things in or near or around his mouth. Like, that nearly went in his mouth, but he put it under his chin.
Be about the elephant in the room.
Well, the elephant in the room, Alan, is, where the fuck are you?
Freedom of speech.
No, it's not freedom of speech. It's where the fuck are you?
I haven't gone on Rumble tonight. not feeling 100% today, are we? No.
Are you talking to the elephant?
I've been to a family get-together this afternoon. So.
Right, a family get-together. He's staying with family. I'm surprised they let him close. Kids and all that.
I've been on the go all day, but I did want to see you, as I promised to see you on Sunday night. Elephant in the room.
I wonder what he bought because apparently it's one of the grandchildren had a birthday. I wonder if you get them a nice present.
The elephant room is free speech. I've worked something out, right? If YouTube was a public utility, like a telephone, we'd have free speech. Because if this was a telephone line, I couldn't be censored by anyone.
Yeah, you're right. Snooty totally does that. And in his past, he's gone playing poker. You know, he goes on holiday. He used to go on holiday playing poker with the money. And they would put up with streams from hotels and not question it and just be like, acceptable. That's acceptable.
Because it's my telephone, right? And I have like an open line to all of you. And there's nothing the government could do about it.
What?
If I was a utility. So the last refuge for me when I run out of channels will be my telephone.
Unbelievable. He's planning for what happens if he gets taken off. So what I'm going to do is, if I'm not able to stream anymore, I'm going to ring you up and do the stream down the phone. And I want you to tip me down the phone while I'm going to ring you up on the phone and I'm going to you're going to tip me for private. I suppose we could do private calls. We could call them private call line, hotline. We could call it the Alan hotline. Tell you what, why don't we do 50p a minute? You call up Alan hotline. The last refuge for me. Could you imagine Darkside Phil coming on the screen and saying, listen, I know things might not work out on YouTube long term, so I've thought about Rumble and I've thought about Kick, but I've decided instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to phone you up and talk to you about the schedule for this week instead, individually, all 8 of you. Streaming's not working out, but like one-on-one, I'm going to come around your house and do the stream in your living room at you. It's like a one-on-one live performance from now on. So if you can all move closer to me, that's going to help me out. But I cannot believe that he's describing his idea to move to telephone. And if that doesn't work out, we can use the telegraph. We can do Morse code. And if that doesn't work out, you can smoke signals. If that doesn't work out, carrier pigeon. I'm going to do my stream by carrier pigeon. Every night, I'm going to get Kaka to write down all the things I was going to say. Carrier pigeon. I'm going to set them loose. I've carved, of course, to take it to the extreme, I've carved the stream on the side of the cave and I'm sending out the smoke signals now. Like,
I will go underground like the French resistance in the Second World War.
Yeah. Is it Les Miserables now?
If they keep shoving me off of everything.
Shove you off a bridge, mate.
No, I was listening to Russell Brand today.
Oh, good.
And he reckons that they're going to...
Listen to me. Look at him with his... It's like a child. This is like an actual child. Now, I was listening to Russell Brand today, Mommy, and Russell Brand said in the playground today, Mommy, that they're going to be banning us from taking our sandwiches into the playground, Mommy. And I just think that it's freedom of speech. We should be allowed to call Russell Brand a name if we want to in the playground, Mommy.
Try to close down Rumble next.
Stop touching it. Don't put it in your mouth.
Because they only want us to be able to talk on what they own. They own Facebook. They own Google. They own YouTube. And that is 95% of what people watch.
That's statistics there.
So like in the old days when they had BBC, CNN, they had 95% of the audience. As soon as this new law comes in over here then they will have 95% of us again.
What? I think you're confused, Alan, because up until 3 weeks ago, you were on YouTube. Russell Brand is still on YouTube.
And it's up to us to stay free. And it's thanks to you guys that we're still here, right? I've still got a platform. I'm still able to film. But what if Great Britain closed down Rumble next month?
Which they might.
Like they want to do.
Yes.
They want to close down Rumble.
This isn't international, but in the UK, yes. We've passed, because we had Brexit, now we're not part of the EU, so all those protections for your human rights are all abandoned. The European had like a, European law on human rights, but that's abandoned. Now we can do what the fuck we want. And so we're going to monitor things a bit more closely for the purposes of stopping online bullying and stuff. But under the radar there goes some rights, and Rumble might just get shut down.
Don't they? Elephant in the room.
Yeah, build your own platform like David Icke did. Yeah, Alan and David Icke, elephant in the room. Why don't that elephant's thing looks a bit like a cock, doesn't it, Alan? I wonder if that's an appropriate present for a child. I wonder if you bought that for the child. I wonder if it looks like a cock.
They don't want people like me talking about COVID.
No.
The future war that's coming.
Well, you weren't talking about that, so why are you all of a sudden interested in it? It's so transparent, isn't it, that he just wants to try and play to the, like, he thinks he's playing to the Rumble crowd, but it's foolish, because the only people who have watched this are like the how many views? 23 likes. 23 likes. So, like, the only people who've watched this are the people that are committed to watching Alan, and they don't give a fuck.
The fact that multiculturalism doesn't work.
Multiculturalism does work,
because you can't mix our Western culture with a Muslim culture that's 300 years behind.
Muhammad Ali was the champion of the world boxing. Cat Stevens Yusuf Islam just played Glastonbury. You can't do what?
How can you integrate that? They don't integrate, do they? And that's very worrying for the future. That's why I'm in Patreon here.
Because you've been pushed off YouTube for being a fucking racist.
And I've got all these things in my head, like I'm worried about the future for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point of Nicole Kessinger being arrested if there's...
I never let them talk. Nicole Kessinger. I never let them talk, do I? Everyone complains, oh, Scott, just let them talk on the video. Nicole Kessinger, bikini. That's what I search for. Nicole Kessinger in a bikini. Let's have the images, please. Whoa, whoa. There she is. Whoa, Alan. Whoa. Hey, Alan. Whoa. He fucking loves Nicole Kessinger. He's such a fucking creep.
No world left.
There'll be no world left. What? What's the point in Nicole Kessinger being arrested if there's no world left? So what this is the people who pay him the money, he's been gaslighting them for years. That the whole reason to give him money is because he's going to fucking take down Nicole Kessinger. Yeah? Everyone else on YouTube's forgot about it. Don't worry about those other people who just got 1 million views recently. Forget them. Everyone else has forgotten about it. But Alan is your man. Alan won't stop beating the drum until Nicole Kessinger's in jail. And remember, those ladies, you fucking hate Nicole Kessinger. Remember, you ladies, you hate Nicole Kessinger. Yeah? So, he's been doing that to them for about 4 years now. And suddenly he's pushed off Facebook off YouTube and onto Rumble. And he's decided on Rumble the Nicole Kessinger shit doesn't fly. People over here don't care about that. I'm going to change my tune. I'm not the armchair detective anymore. Cracking cases. I'm changing now. I am going to do a David Icke, a Russell Brand. I'm changing. And he does this metamorphosis in his life. He likes to do this changing. But all the women in the chat that still pay him the monies, They've been gaslit into believing that it's all about Nicole Kessinger and he's a detective. So he's got to subtly undo his own gaslighting or re-gaslight. Big up Snoop. He needs to. It's like he needs to gaslight them over the top. Okay, so forget what you thought before about Nicole Kessinger being really important. Now she's still important, and you should still give me the money because you still hate her, yeah. But we've got to save the whole world first. So just put that on the back burner a bit and come with me while we talk about how bad it's got with the blacks.
No world left then.
Sorry, I'm joking, of course. It's not the blacks, is it? It's the Arabs.
And that's what worries me.
Sorry, not all the Arabs, the Muslim ones.
But that's beside the point.
The foreign ones, the Muslim foreign ones, not the ones... Well, actually, I think Alan was saying all of them, wasn't he? I don't know. Whichever ones he thinks are bad anyway. As far as I'm concerned, they can all come here and have a nice time and we can all share dinner. And the more integration you do, then the less problems you have, because you don't really want to have a big row with all your friends all the time, especially if you learn more about their cultures. And, you know, we've kind of proved it by doing it through hundreds of years.
The elephant in the room is...
The elephant in the room is, Alan, that you will still go and have a Chinese takeaway, but you don't want the Chinese people to be here.
Listen, YouTube, Rumble, anybody has every right not to have what I say on their platform because it's their platform. If they say, Alan Vinicum, you're not allowed to talk on this platform because you talk crap, then that's up to them because they own the platform, right?
This is really weird. He's talking quietly because he's in a house with other people, and I'm talking quietly because it's 3 a.m. If it gets like it's nearly at 4 a.m, like we're only at 4 minutes in, we're not doing the whole this tonight. I'm going to call it early, and then we'll watch this tomorrow because this is too good. His little nose.
I don't mind that.
His little nose made a whistle.
Allowed to talk on this platform because you talk crap, then that's up to them because they own the platform, right? I don't mind that. I don't even mind that. What I mind is being chased out of my life by a bunch of trolls and Frankie Rusek, who wants to take me to court. Now, that's nothing to do with YouTube or Rumble, is it? That's to do with one man having a grudge against me. I think the only people that could take me to court is my government. I don't think an individual should be allowed to take a YouTuber to court.
You could just imagine the SWAT team smashing the door in now, can't you? Midway through this. It's the government. We're not acting on behalf of simple YouTubers, Alan. It's gone right to the top. I don't think a YouTuber should be allowed to take me to court. In fact, I don't think anyone should be allowed to say. I think I should only be accountable to maybe say the government. Yeah, should we say the government? I don't know if even they should be able to take me to court. Maybe I should be the judge. I've got it sorted. I'll take you to court. How about that? I'll take the government to court. That sounds better.
Because I don't agree that Kessinger had nothing to do with it.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to tip.
That's basically it, isn't it? Let's face it, if I said that Kessinger is totally innocent, I would never have had this, would I?
No, Alan.
That's fact.
No, that's not a fact, because your opinion on Nicole Kessinger, I could care less for, really. But when you were stealing my content, etc., etc.
I've never heard the trolls go after anybody that says Shanann did it. They don't go after people that say Shanann did it.
That's you they went after when you said that she did it.
Think about it.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about Shannon Watts killing her own kids, you fucking nutter.
Oh, Shanann killed the children.
Is he saying this, clasping this fucking... Like, could it get any creepier? What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're a troll, right, and you love the Ruseks, who are you going to go after? Alan Vinicum or Miss Menso?
What?
Miss Mental is obviously a lot more upsetting than I am. It's much more torture. This is what they call it, torture. Which is torture? Me saying Nicole Kessinger should be questioned, or miss
Or me holding you down and then dripping my drool on for you while I rub myself against you until I climax in my pants.
Mensa saying Shanann killed the kids. Which is more torture to the family? I don't even, it's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
It's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing could be worse than being told that your daughter killed your grandchildren on a daily basis for 5 years, could it? But it's never mentioned. It's never mentioned by the trolls. Oh, we don't care about her. So you can actually say Shanann did it and get no trouble at all. I'm getting taken to court because I say that NK needs questioning.
It's 2023. The court case is coming. I guess. Like what?
And I've tried to figure this out. I tried to figure a way out
There's a big smile there. So there was like a big sort of like, this is bullshit smile.
where this works.
Because you don't see what they're saying in the chat. That doesn't get kept on Rumble, but they might be like, oh, Alan. Oh, Alan. This is just part of his grift, really, isn't it? Pity party again.
I don't get it. And I still don't get it. Because I stopped talking about the case for 4 months. I've been advised by different spanners over the years.
Like Snood, she got murdered. What's happened over the time? The Grumpy Granny said it best. It was that she just skips through Alan talking about that stuff because we've been over it loads. But Shannon got murdered. She come home to have a fucking row with her husband about him cheating, and he was like, I don't want to have a row about me cheating. Instead, I'll murder you. How about that? And she said, I don't really fancy that, but and it all went on from there. But Chris Watts said that the reason he murdered her was because she murdered his kids. Like, that was his story. But it's not a very good story because, yeah. What's Alan doing with this cuddle cat?
Don't talk about the case.
He's such a fucking weirdo.
If you don't talk about the case, they'll leave you alone. All right, I say. I won't talk about the case anymore. In fact, if I talk about the case, we have a tip jar and I can put money in the tip jar. Swear box.
Swear jar, you fucking idiot. You've got a tip jar for your own financial interests, and the swear jar is where you have to. He's still in his head. He said the money goes in the tip jar when I do these things. No, you take the money that you have done and give it to some other cause for the swear jar. Like, the swear jar is a penalty on you, not them tipping you.
Mention the word "what's." That's what we did at one time. I wasn't allowed. Between us, we decided.
Yeah, I tell you what, I could get. There's software that could help me take out the background and put in padded walls, isn't there?
That I wasn't allowed to say the word "what's." Otherwise, you could put money in a swear box. So we made "what's" a swear word.
Yeah, and how much money did you put in the swear box?
Just to get my life back to normal.
Look at him.
We did it because all my spanners wanted me to have a life. So I tried. Twice I've tried it. Once for 6 months and once for 4 months. And it didn't make any difference at all.
What the fuck is going on?
None.
He's got his phone. He hasn't put down the elephant to get the phone out. What the fuck is going on? In Dumbo, one of the bad people separate him from his mommis, don't they? And I always thought, what kind of a bad person could do that? That's Alan can do that.
Nobody's talking.
Nobody's talking.
Nobody's talking to me. Somebody talk to me.
Oh my God. Trisha, this is, like, I'll tell you what's the joy of this. Like, Val's going to love this as well. This is the narcissist, as you said, desperate for supply. Okay? He's been away from his stream, kind of forced on him maybe by the family event. And at the end of the evening, he needs to get on stream. He's told everyone in the family, I'm going to have to do this. This is important. It's my livelihood. But really, he wants some narcissistic supply. To the point where he's cuddling a toy infantilized, because narcissism, with the denial stuff that we were learning about, how am I going to get this up? Where would I remember where that was? It's not really that important. Basically, there are stages of denial. Now's not the right time for it. There are stages of denial, though, and you start off quite infant, like childish means, and it gets more complex. So, like, early forms of denial can simply be like burying your head in the sand and like being childish about it, or going like, then you get further into it and you like get into sort of academic denial, and like there's all different forms and levels. And one of the problems, if you stay in denial too long and keep doing it, is that you can get into a form of delusion, and that delusion can then take you to this next step, which can be narcissism. Like, narcissism is a sort of end product of far too much denial, and there's different reasons why people go into denial, so it's not all like fun and games, you know. But we were learning about it on Thus. Me and Steve did an episode on it on Thus. So Alan is at a point here where he's like in like a sort of, he does it quite a lot, it's part of his cycle. He's probably had a big blowout and he needs to sort of like rest and recover, like you said. And like, this is a sort of childish, like Snood says, regression. He's playing the part of the child here. Like, he's in the child's bedroom, he's happy to have the toy. Mummy, why aren't you talking to me? Like, you know, he does it when he reminisces about his childhood as well, or the games, the things I used to watch on telly, and, you know, life was, you know, and this and that. And like, before bedtime, he likes to infantilize and go into a fantasy world. And like, here he's just like in that fantasy world hard on, and like to the point where he's demanding it of them. Like, you know, I've dressed up in my nappy, I've got the dummy in, can you please smack my bottom and play mummy? I don't care if you've got shopping to put away and things to do in the house. I'm going to need you to deal with my infantilized fucking problem here. Smack my bottom and call me nice, like powder my bum and tell me I'm a nice baby.
None.
100,000 followers, where are you now? And the accusatory nature of it, of him as well, like, you are not doing well enough, supporters, because you're not talking to me.
6 months.
Like, what on earth have they got to say about this anyway? Like, they have heard it. There's nothing new here.
And once for 4 months. And it didn't make any difference at all. None. Nobody's talking. Nobody's talking to me. Somebody talk to me. Please. Somebody talk to me. I feel so lonely. I feel so lonely. Well.
Or is that a play for, is that another narcissistic tactic? Is that the, you know, wolf in sheep's clothing? Oh, I feel so lonely. Would you talk to me? That'll get him talking to me. That'll give me the money. You know, or is this a cry for help? Like, it's hard to know, isn't it? It's wolf in sheep's clothing or cry for help. Like,
I'm not talking until someone speaks to me.
Good way to run a stream.
If you don't talk to me, I just don't want to talk. Thank you, Rifra. Lots of others still talk about the what's. Now, Seeking the Truth with Dave came along when Netflix came on, right? Years after me.
I mean, this is pure defense as well. Let's put it around my neck. Let's hide my neck. Let's put it, like, you know, if you're at a party and there's someone clutching a pillow across. Okay, so once, you know, when someone sits on the sofa and they clutch a pillow across their crotch, then it looks like they've got an erection, right? So once, I was at, this is going to sound fucking weird the way I describe it, but this is the truth. So this is how it happened. I was at my friend's baptism, and I didn't know that they were a Baptist until the day they invited me to their baptism. And I was like, right, okay, I'll go to that. That sounds fine. And I knew they were like into Jesus, like they'd mention Jesus every now and then, but not in a big way. They were pretty cool. Like, they weren't like sad Jesus sandals or anything. They were pretty cool. A peer of mine, a bit older than me, and they said, do you want to come to my baptism? I was like, well, fuck yeah, then I'll do that. So I went to the baptism, and at the time I was in sort of like a goth phase, so I wore this like black shirt with red stars on it, and I had long black trench coat like the Crow, and I probably had a bit of black makeup and a bit long hair like the Crow, and I wore my big boots and my black trousers like the Crow. So I went to the baptism, and then none of them were dressed like the Crow. Listen, none of them were dressed like the Crow. They were all quite normal and buttoned down, and I got to sit and watch, and they did have the fucking swimming pool, like a big bath in the fucking church, and they went in it, and he got baptized and like came out all wet, and like, you know, then they sang a song, and I, you know, did my cool being cool, didn't sing the song, you know, didn't say amen at the end of the prayers, thanks. But I think that's why he wanted me there, because I think he felt I was a bit off the rails in my life, and I think he was trying to help me. But so after the baptism, there was a party, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll come to the baptism party. This sounds even better than the actual baptism. And so, but it was one of those parties where we all sat, like, it was young people, but we were sat around in like a circle in a living room, and there were adults sort of also sort of there, and like, you know, churchy people, and it was like baptism party, you know, it's like a family party thing. And I was like, but this is cool because there's some young people, and there was quite a pretty girl, and she was quite pretty, and I was like, she's quite pretty. I think I'll talk to the quite pretty girl at the baptism. So I'm talking to the people, and in a like little circle, they're like, to them, I'm like something exotic. I'm like, you know, I've come out the Crow, I've dressed up in my Crow clothes, and they're like, oh, what's it like not being into Jesus? And don't you think Jesus is good though? And like, what do you do? Just go out eating chicken nuggets whenever you want? And I'm like, listen, honey, I eat more than chicken nuggets. I have the fucking smoke the weed and everything. And they're like, no. And like, yeah, so I was making pretty big waves at the baptism party. And so I went to the toilet. And when I went to the toilet, I thought, listen, I do smoke. You know, I'd been out and done a little smoky, so I thought my breath's probably quite bad. And they've got these, you know, toothpaste and things like that on the side. So I got some toothpaste and I rubbed it on in my mouth like that to sort of make my breath smell better. And I went to the toilet, and then I zipped up my fly, and I looked down at my black Crow trousers, and I'd got toothpaste smeared on my crotch where I'd done up the zip. And I'm like, that's not good, is it? That's toothpaste smeared on your crotch. So I tried to clean it, and that made it worse. And now I've got wet crotch with toothpaste smear. So this is a problem, yeah? So I went downstairs with my shirt slightly untucked and my Crow coat sort of closed after I'd been to the toilet, and sat down and immediately grabbed the cushion and covered. This is where the cushion comes in. I did the cushion cover, and I thought, I've got away with this. I've like fully got away with this doing the cushion cover. But to be honest, in the back of my mind, there was always a part of me saying, you haven't got away with this. They think you've got an erection. Like, why don't you show them the smear? Because the smear is probably not as bad as the erection. Like, I didn't have an erection, but the fact that they probably thought I did because I was sitting talking to the pretty girl, and then I had to go away and come back and held the cushion. I think that they think I had an erection the whole time, and an erection at a baptism party is probably not the best look. So I should have probably just like, you know, I should have said, look, I've just been in the toilet and I've smeared up my crotch with toothpaste. If anyone wants to sniff it, it's toothpaste, not cum. You can tell because you can smell it. Come and smell my crotch. Let's get that out of the way, and we're fine. But no, I had to hide the crotch the whole time, and then I was embarrassed, and I didn't like it. And then, you know, as soon as I could, I left. And I don't know what happened at the culmination of the baptism party, because I left early because I had what appeared to be a cummed up crotch, but it wasn't. It was just toothpaste. So that's my story. This is Alan, and he does this.
He talks about just the Watts case for 3 years. Do they go after Dave?
Fuck
Little
Dave.
bit.
I don't know, a little bit.
Do they sue Dave? No.
Did Dave steal my content? No. It's like am I tripping here? Like, I've been written out of it by today. We watched that interview, or yesterday we watched it, and it was premiered today. They wrote me out of it. When Snood went on that panel, and he was like, "Oh, you're super chuffer," they were like, "Yeah, well, I don't really talk about him." And like, Alan's just now like, it's 3 years of Rusick again. It's weird, isn't it? I suppose he's not bothered about me really. He's more bothered about the impending court case.
They have like channels making films about him every day. No. I don't understand this AD hatred, other than, how can it be? It can only be that they get viewing figures from me. Hello, Scarlet Lady. Hello, Kelly.
He looked like he was going to cry then, but he wasn't. It was just a hiccup.
Thank you for saying hello.
Thank you for saying hello. Thank you for saying hello. Oh, Jojo, your kids say you're cringe when you're watching these streams. No way. No way. Like, do you know what? It does my nut in a way. Like, I was on the internet, and when I first started on the internet, I was like, look, people are going to want to watch gaming and stuff because that's what young people want to watch, and I'm cool. But no, I'm cringe now, am I? The young people think I'm cringe and I'm an old person. It does my nuts in. Can't I just play fucking? Can't we do slime review? Tell them to go and do a fucking make a slime. Tell them to go and make a slime. This isn't cringe. This is funness.
Ocean Daughter.
I'm only joking. He does seem very sensitive, doesn't he, Trisha? But sorry, Perfect Angel. He does seem very sensitive. Oh, it's you or the cringe, right? No, that's ridiculous. That's even more ridiculous. And I don't know I think you're just saying that to make me feel better. To be honest, I think I'm the cringe, and they're laughing at you. They think you should be doing something. I think because this to the outsider, if you said what are you watching, and you were to say, well, Alan is on the internet and Scott watches him and talks and like try and explain it, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Prime Time. Now there's Prime Time. She's been with me for 4 years. DC Prime Time, on and off. Sometimes she goes away for 6 months, then she comes back. But her interest in the she helped me so much in research. I'll tell you this now. Doesn't matter anymore because I'm chucked off YouTube. But she helped me a lot. A lot of people have helped me a lot.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter now because you're chucked off YouTube. But maybe if you'd said that along the way a lot more, it would have been better for you. It's weird, isn't it? And then to write off the nice thing that you were saying by saying, well, you were good, but you're not useful to me anymore. Yeah, absolutely, Dover and Dolly's mom. He could totally be faking being emotional here because it's just pity party dollars. He's probably thought, well, this looks good. I've got a child's bedroom and an elephant. I can, he settled in a way, right? How do I explain this? Like in life, you sort of settle into behaviours and grooves. Everyone does it. Like routines, behaviours, like the way you are with your family or your friends or something, routines and grooves. And when things start to play out, it's much more like visible in family relationships when someone moves out. Like Trish was talking about, her son moved out, and then after a while of being apart, you come back together, and you kind of slip into those old grooves of assume the old roles and ways of being, and you're like, hang on, wait, no, this isn't. I don't have to do that anymore, and this is not how it is. And Alan here, in a way, is it's like he's got, Alan has this pattern behaviour. So you can start the ball rolling and just press the button and say, oh, have a rant about Kessinger, go, and you'll be there for an hour and a half. He's got it all planned out in his head as like an old script. And this is one of those old scripts. It's I'm poorly today, mummy. I can't go to hospital. I mean, I can't go to school. I might need to go to hospital. I'm so poorly today, mummy. I need, and it's not a real true feeling. I think I agree. I think this is much more likely to be a sort of, there is a feeling there, and it triggers this spiral of behaviour. Like, I'm feeling sad and the ladies are here. Oh, but I am even more sad. Like, the minute they start feeding into it, he starts playing up to it and it becomes a self-feeding animal. But at the start of it, it's probably, 50% true pity that he wants and 50%, isn't it,
But still, the bandwagon is take me to court. How would you like to have a fund that's talked about all the time to destroy your life? I've had a fund to destroy.
That's gone on another stretch goal.
My life. I don't know if it's 2. Is it 2 years? I don't know. Maybe longer than 2 years. Do you know what that does to your head?
But again, this is the pity. This is the pity.
How hated I feel. Sometimes I feel the whole world's against me, purely because I thought I did a good thing. By proving Shanann didn't kill the kids because the shadows were there the next day, I thought, yes.
Retconning the past.
I thought, yes.
No, you didn't. That's not how it went.
I've saved Shanann's name. Yes.
Liar.
And when the research went on Dr. Phil and they said, oh, we found out the ghosts were alive, I'm taken to the field, I still didn't go make a film about it. So I'm not saying nothing.
But you see, it's a pity party for Alan, yeah. But the thing is, right, I don't think he switched on the camera here thinking, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to say that and then we're going to go pity party. I just think he sat down, turned on the camera and his natural behaviour took him to just repeating the same old pattern again. Like, this is one of those old videos he's done. The content here, like, I was excited because it's all dressed up different, but actually the things he's saying, I've heard many times.
And do you remember the official Wisconsin tapes came out about a week after Dr. Phil?
And like, he's in a comfortable place here in his own brain, isn't he? Just like, most people have got this in them on a subject. If you talk to them, like, because I've been a hairdresser, yeah? Like, with everyone, there is a, like, most, okay, 80% of people, not all people. God, I used to have one lady, and I don't think she liked me at all, right? But she liked the way I did her hair, so she would say to me, please don't talk about me, sorry, please don't talk with me about stuff. I'm going to read my book, you're going to do the hair. This is how I want the hair, thank you. And I would just be like, okay, that's fine, I get it. You like the way I do the hair, I'll keep quiet. Like, she was paying, I'm fine with it, you know. But boom. I am back. Obs has changed my window. There you go. I got a cat on me. I mean, this was just supposed to be just something nothing, and now we're 10 minutes into Alan. I'll give him, he's an hour. He does an hour of this, so I'll do 15 minutes, let's say. But I did promise that I would stop and go to bed. And now it's 4:30, and like, I feel like this is a good. It's like the computer's telling me to stop and go to bed quick, because you're not going to make it otherwise. And you wanted to go to bed, didn't you? And like, we can pick this back up tomorrow. And I'm probably going to have to recover it tomorrow. Like, you know, everyone else hasn't seen it. Might as well play the first 10 minutes again. Like, there's been some funny bits. I'll have to pretend that I didn't react like this and then react again. I could never. It's too good to stop. No, yeah, but no, we can have a few more minutes, but like, it's too good to not do it on the main stream tomorrow, really, isn't it? That's the thing. Like, because it's 4:30 in the morning now. If we carry on, this will take us to 6 in the morning, and then I'm fucked up my whole life again. Like, I'd rather try and get to sleep about 5 o'clock in the morning and say, naughty me, I've got to still get up tomorrow. Like, that's probably better. I didn't intend to be down this far down the road. I just wanted to drink my coffee, my cocoa coffee, and go to bed. Give you a few more minutes.
Weld County, who issued the tapes, right?
But it's this shit.
And I was sat there, and that afternoon when they were issued, listening to these tapes, and there was 2,000 people in my chat. And I said, I'm not saying nothing until Chris says the girls were alive when I took them to the field. I refused to say anything until he said those words, and he did. And I went, yes. Shanann is innocent. Shanann is innocent. And Critical K and J for Justice, they both said, I can't believe it. AD was right all along. Would you believe it? We thought he was crazy, and he was. And those two, I still give them credit now. J for Justice, Critical K, apologized and said they were wrong about me. People like Mummy Bumby, Mummy Rambles.
Who is he talking about?
Pretended she didn't hear it. Because she said all along, everybody's killed in the house. Rocket Man, who's now got a big channel, said, no way, they were all killed in the house. There's no shadow. And they never, ever... Well, the thing is, in my case, always, they never apologize to me, and they never give me any credit for anything, right? Ever.
That's because you didn't deserve any credit for anything, because you didn't do anything. You just took other people's information and rebroadcast it as if it was your own.
Even after all this time, they still won't say nobody died in the house, right? They can't bring themselves to say it.
I don't know what you're talking about. And you didn't even, like...
But I know
this is so fucked up and weird because like that particular point that he will not let go, it's not his. It doesn't like. It's like having. Okay, how do I explain this? Yeah, it's okay. So it's like you'll go to a photographer and you say your photograph that someone gives you a photograph. You say this is a really good photograph. I'm going to take that. I'm going to enter that into a competition as if it's mine, and then you win the competition. And like this photograph is like the winning in the competition. You're like, brilliant! I've won the competition. I'm big photograph special. And like you put it up on the wall, and later on you say to people like, "Do you like my photograph? That won a competition. That did. It's good, isn't it?" Hey? And then they know that they find out who really took the photograph. And they're like, you didn't take that photograph. And you're like, yeah, but who won the competition? Do you remember when I won the competition with the photograph? That's the photograph. And they're like, yeah, but you didn't take the photograph. And you're like, yeah, but so where's my credit? You don't deserve any credit at all. In fact, you deserve the opposite of credit. Whatever that is. Debit.
I knew I'd change the case. I knew when Sherilyn Cadell come
But you knew you didn't.
on my program, I got a lot of people hate her, right? I liked her, Sherilyn Cadell. I got on well with her, and she was honest with me. And I asked her to ask Chris questions.
So what this is, again, it's part of the gaslighting. It got brought up earlier. I wonder who brought it up. Was it you, Tricia? This is the gaslighting where I was watching Val's reaction, I think. This is the gaslighting where I remind you why I've been important to you over the years, and okay, things are shit now, but do you remember when I was really important? I did good things. I did this, and it was that, and let's go back and let's paint the picture of why I'm so good from the start again, okay? And let's make sure you really understand why I'm good here. It's kind of all irrelevant now, isn't it, Alan? It's sad. This is the sort of thing that he'll be saying when he's drunk on a stool in a bar. He is. I was going to say when he's an old man, but
I've never talked about this until Richie tonight. I've never talked about my private conversation with Sherilyn Cadell because at the time she had a book coming out and I didn't want to cause her any crap.
And I don't know who that is.
By telling you what she said, but it doesn't.
And it's irrelevant because if there had been any leverage in it, Alan would have told you earlier. He's not beholden to her, he doesn't care. Whatever he's saying now, it's just the reason he didn't say it before is either it wasn't relevant or he's just making it up.
Matter anymore, does it? She spoke to Chris about me. Now, I know we've been in contact with Cindy and Ronnie over the years through my people, and I know that Secretive Dave now is in contact with them now. And I can tell you this. Chris Watts told me.
Oh, it looked like he may look down to a note there, so maybe he did make notes.
More to Sherilyn Cadell than he's ever told his mum and dad.
Well, that was just his phone, probably.
Miles more, unless he's lying to me 100%. And I think she's a Christian woman. I don't think she lies on purpose. But she said to me that Chris's sister.
Oh, there we go. Objection here. So this is where I am going to pause it. We'll do this tomorrow because it's getting dark. What he's going to do is he's going to make up a lie, yeah, and he's going to pin the lie on this other woman. She said to me, and this is in confidence now between you and me. She said to me, and she, she lies sometimes, but I don't know why she lies. But she said to me, did she? And you decided to keep this under your hat for all this time. All this time, out of respect for her and her book. Get fucked. This is a lie. He's about to tell a lie and just make something up to appease these women. And it's all it's all manipulation at this point. And it's hard. It's part of the cycle. He wants the resource from them, but as well as he's receiving it, he wants to make sure they are being, he's turning the screws, isn't he? You're right in chat. Never knows like the elephant if he keeps telling porkies. Yeah. Now it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut that, get it uploaded, stay awake while it uploads, so that I can set it as a premiere for tomorrow, and then I wanted to do Super Chuffer tomorrow. I'll have to get up in the day, do a Super Chuffer stream, because I need to get, following up with that body language on that man and following it up. Yeah, it hasn't finished, but it's about to. And then I think what I do is I get this uploaded to Battery Exhausted, run it as a video, because I wonder how long I've been talking about Alan now. And then as that video finishes, I go live with the rest of this tomorrow on Battery Exhausted. That's probably a good idea, isn't it? Something like that. Get some rest, yeah, but I mean, I've still got to sit up now and fucking edit this video up. But, yeah. Bad Alan. I kind of feel like I want to just skip on and show you a little highlight of, what's coming up later. I want to know, I want to know. I'm not going to sleep properly if I don't. So let's skip on a little bit quickly and just see what's coming up.
Clearer picture.
There's my thumbnail. Is it not my thumbnail? No? Okay.
Yeah. Picture of Nate. It was like CCTV directly from there on his TV. Make it there.
Oh, I missed the thumbnail.
About. Because the family and that were helping the Netflix. I've got to be careful what I say. Well County
You don't have to be careful what you say.
gave Netflix a much clearer picture.
Is he all right? What was I supposed to do today? Super Chuffer, yeah, I was, yeah. That's a good one, that is, though. That's a screenshot. That is, Alan. It's not in very good quality because you're not broadcasting in very good quality, but it's a screenshot, all right, that I could use for a thumbnail, that one.
Of NK being.
But it's going to be a bad one tomorrow if he's going to just do Nicole.
Can't get that pressure.
Is he going to move off the topic?
Can't get the pressure.
This is 40.
I went so far and we were getting there, and then they professionally blacken my name to, like, AD's this, AD's that.
No, you are actually a nonce. Like, I'm not professionally blackening your name with some clandestine operation. Rourke's not paying me. Like, are you fucking insane? Is that what he says to them? And that's what they believe, huh? That, like, he's being professionally character assassinated by Scotty Hottie. I think they could have picked a better person to do it than me, because when I did it, everyone got really eggy about me putting my willy in your mouth.
And then they stopped talking about the case. They started talking about me. They made it personal about me. So instead of having to answer about Shanann or Chris or Kessinger, they made it about me. And then gradually Kessinger got pushed into the background.
If Cohen had hired me, right, I wouldn't need tippies. I wouldn't have put memberships on. I'd have been one of those, like, self-righteous ones that didn't need any monetization, because secretly I'd be getting money. Like, but, like, actually, I'm not doing that financially. Like, they all accused me today of, like, I noticed today the accusation was levelled that I'd done financially quite well out of this. But, like, only on the sort of thin end of what could be a fatter wedge if things went better on YouTube. This is like a build-up process. Like, I'm not, like, rolling it. I'm not driving a Lamborghini because Alan's a twat. Like, and if I wanted to, like, grift money, like, this is the funny thing about it, is at the point where I sort of focused more of my time on the Alan stuff, my main Super Chuffer channel was going quite well. Okay, this Nicola Bully stuff had calmed down, but that was my main avenue of income. I was able to make a video on that and pull 15,000 views, whereas with the Alan stuff, I get 5,000 views. So it's not the numbers. I actually quite like doing it. But you know what I mean? Like, if I was going for the money, then I wouldn't be doing this. And I would love it if I was being paid behind the scene by Cohen, but unfortunately, no. And Alan's just, like, in his delusions an hour in.
There's too many things. Backdoor Betty. We've renamed her now, right? She's called Backdoor Betty now. Because obviously Nicole Kessinger's done this. So as far as I'm concerned, she's backdoor Betty because she likes to share her back door key because she's only got one bedroom.
Is that an analogy for anal sex? But you just backed out of it yourself. Is that what happened?
So as far as I'm concerned, she's backdoor Betty because she likes to share her back
door bumhole with Chris Watts for the sex.
door key
Backdoor key.
because she's only got one bedroom, something like that, somewhere around that sort of thing. And don't forget that when they went to the sand dunes, unequivocally, I love that word, unequivocally.
It's not the right word. Coward in his own patron. Won't even do his own joke about Nicole Kessinger. Won't even do his own joke about her and the bum sex. Unequivocally. So there is some good bits at the end.
And don't forget that when they went to the sand dunes, unequivocally, I love that word, unequivocally.
Unequivocally, but it's going to be sad going because it's all going to be out with Nicole Kessinger and the Watts case.
They don't get paid on TikTok.
No, of course you don't. Of course you don't, because there's no money in it for you on TikTok, you fucking clown.
Get paid nothing on Rumble.
But it's a big beg. You do get paid on Rumble, you fucking dickhead.
I have to do something. I need a job.
Yes.
But it's got to be a job that doesn't stop me researching and working.
Oh my God. I'm blown away. I don't think he'll get a job. I think he'll be his own worst enemy I don't think he really wants one, so I think he's saying this so they say, don't you dare, Alan. If you leave, we won't have you. Don't do a job. I'll pay you a living wage so that you can stay here. But the truth of it is he should just go and get a fucking job and shut up and not be on the internet. Get in the way of you don't do any research. Like, you sleep all day and turn up to the show and they provide the stuff.
I just wonder what sort of job I should go. Maybe like a night watchman, where if I was a night watchman,
I could murder people in the night and do weird shit. Why would you want to stay up all night? Like, that's a younger... I don't know, it might be ageist there, but I would say, like, it's more biased towards the young who tend to stay up all night, you know. Some nights I go clubbing, some nights I work my night watchman job. I don't know, maybe, you know, it's more suited to an elder gentleman in of pension. What are you going to watch? Who are you going to... Have you got a security badge? Like, do you have a license?
on, say, like building site.
Building
I
site?
could still do my research, couldn't I? I'd be sat in a hut, wouldn't I? I don't have to do anything.
Well, then you're not going to get the job, because you can't say that in the interview. Alan's come up with a fantasy job that he could do where he doesn't have to do anything and no one will care. Oh, you do this when you're like a teenager as well. My friend used to work at the car park, the NCP car park, and we used to go down there and he'd have these little, like, you know, where they do the gate and the thing goes up, and if you want to call the person, there's a button, like they're in a little room, yeah? You used to be in this little room with a little telly at, like, 8 o'clock at night. It doesn't go on all night, they're not, the car park closes at like, midnight or something, 11. It was a bit late that he used to do it, and like, so it's one of those jobs, and we'd go in there and like we'd say, do you want to come for a spliff or whatever? He'd be like, yeah. And we'd go and like smoke some spliffs in the car park with him and like hang out a bit, and like, night watchman job. I mean, what are you suggesting, Alan?
Just keep an eye out because somebody tried to break in. If I had a job where all I was a night watchman and keep an eye on something, just keep an eye, I could still use my computer, couldn't I? I guess.
No, because you get the sack because you're just doing whatever you want in your fucking room instead of doing the fucking job. I mean, I can't believe he suggested it. I was going to knock it really hard on the head there, but I have to stick around now and just react to the fact that he said he would do. I mean, we're going to watch that later. When I say later, tomorrow, if I can stop doing this now, but I'm blown away. Of course, it's all just a load of bollocks, isn't it? So that they give him more money. I'm threatening to leave and do a job. How about that? I'm threatening to leave you and do a job if you don't give me the money. I think it's that. But drug dealing, yeah, true. Night watchman job. Could do his drug dealing on the side. It's just a fucking weird thing to suggest. Like the getting the job bit as well. I didn't think that he would like suggest that out of his own. I mean, is it? Maybe he's at that point financially where things are that desperate that, like, you know, he said to his family, "Can you give me money?" And they've said, "Well, why can't you get a job?" Like, you know, he's gone there today, family thing, and they've said, "Listen, have a word with your dad and tell him he's got to get a fucking job." He may be in actual financial trouble, but it's like hanging the threat of it over them. Darkside Phil's done it before. You know, if I can't afford to do this as a living, then I can't do this, and then I can't come to do the streams. And you love the streams, so you know you're gonna have to start tipping. It's a form of beg, you know, it's a leveraged form of beg. But I would pay money to film Alan in the job hunt process, in the interviews, and in the trial shifts. He's not going to get at the positions, so we don't have to film him doing the actual jobs. But you know, I would love it. It would be fucking comedy, glorious comedy. I mean, how many night watchman jobs are there in Exmouth for a start? And do they even call it a job? Night watchman, night shift security jobs, Exmouth. I mean, I must be insane. They need them. They urgently need them. He's done this before in his past. He's done security camera watching. I don't know exactly where or what, but he said he used to watch security cameras, maybe in his own business. But you get coked up and you sit there in the room, don't you? Days, nights and weekends, visible uniform deterrent. Oh no, this is not what he wants. This is you stand there in the fucking Tesco Metro while deter troublemakers on site. Total Security Limited. What this will be, you need anyway, you need a license. He hasn't got a fucking SIA license, has he? So he's not going to get that. But what this will be, more likely than not, is a security company that run sort of agency work, insofar as they've got a high turnover of staff. So they will advertise jobs in general, and then you'll apply to them, and then you'll be on their like books as like in terms of like, you know, security agency. They've got shifts here, they've got shifts there, urgently needed because there's always staff turnover and stuff like that, isn't there? 4 nights on, 4 nights off. There you go, £10 an hour. Security reception service at Kestrel, whatever the fuck that is, in Exeter. I mean, I wouldn't want Alan doing this job because he would be a danger to society, wouldn't he? Late nights, you know, imagine some drunk girls walking past on her own late at night. Alan just happens to be in his little hut. Like, it's just a fucking nightmare waiting to happen, isn't it? Ministry of Defence Guard Service, he's not going to get that. Centre operator. Must be able to pass our clients' security clearance checks. That's not going to happen because they're going to type him in on the internet and it's going to come up with what we do. So that's not going to happen. Did he get any tippies? I don't know. It was a patron one, so they've already paid to watch it. So I haven't watched the whole of it. But what we've done is we've watched the first 10 minutes and I just skimmed towards the end just to get a bite-sized view of what's happening at the end. And we're going to watch it tomorrow.
Which you do, which is good. Supervise the cleaning of my teeth. I don't supervise the cleaning of my teeth.
Supervise the cleaning of Martin Dean's teeth. But the truth is, Alan, that Martin Dean, you know, you lost to Martin Dean, didn't you? Like, Martin Dean's still allowed on YouTube, you not so much. So, and this is another good screenshot, of course. I've got a couple of good thumbnails there. I like that one.
I
bet if I did that in slow motion, hang on.
Supervise the cleaning of my teeth.
Is that better, do you think? There's a little tufty bit at the front, but that might be a better one. Let's quickly grab that. Actually, if Rumble could not be saying that Rumble is now full screen. Thank you. Let's grab that. It might work better. You don't know. You don't know.
I don't watch YouTube anymore. This is great. All those trolls, right? I'm sorry to tell them, I don't watch them, so I don't know what they're doing. I don't care what they're doing. I don't know anything about them anymore. Anyway, it's been lovely talking to you, and
reminded him all about the trolls right at the end. Good.
I think I'm having tomorrow off.
Are you? Because you've had all the other days off as well these last couple of days.
I have tomorrow off to have a think of what to do.
To have a think of what to do? No. Something's happening tomorrow. Is it the court case tomorrow? Could it be the court case tomorrow? Is it the 17th? No, it's the 17th, isn't it? That's what I said, is that the 17th was my date for the court case, actually. And that's today. It would be tomorrow. Or, hang on, when did he do this? I think this is 24 hours ago. So when he says he's having tomorrow off, he means today. Why do I think the 17th? Because something to do with Oh, Nicole Kessinger. She shocked me then. I just went to click another window and she's there on a window. Exeter High Court. Because of something to do with Exeter High Court. I can't remember off the top of my head now. When we looked into it, we were picking through the details. There was something to do with Exeter Court sitting again. 6/10/23. What's the 6th of the 10th? The last case that sat there was 6 of the 10/23. Guilty to burglary. There. 5 years, 3 months. Custodial immediate. They're getting, that's a serious case that would take precedence. But they're getting cases moving now. 2023, 9/25, 10/06. So the 6th of the 10th, they sat for these criminal. What's going on? I need to activate my account. This is what happened last time. They had criminal cases that happened recently. I can't remember where I got the 17th from. I know that what happened was the High Court was on a break and it restarted up progress in October. And I thought there was maybe something set for a certain date that made me think of that. Is it filed at the King's Court London? I think Alan was just talking shit when he was talking that. I don't know what he's on about, the King's Court London. Like, you have your court in a jurisdiction where you live. Like, it's not the King's Police London. I mean, they have the King's Police London, like the Met. They're not the King's Police, they're the Met, but you know what I mean? Like, they have a court in London, but, like, I don't go to it because I don't live in London. Like, Alan goes to the court near him, Exeter High Court, it will be. Or this one's Crown Court. But the thing is, what happens is that you have the building where the court is in, yeah? And one day it can be the Crown Court, and they do the cases, and the next day it's like the High Court because it's a different judge and a different case setup, but it's the same room, or like they have a different room in the same place. Like, you can use the courtroom for different purposes. So this is the High Court, Crown Court in Crown Court in Exeter, and that's where Alan will be going for his court case. I think, I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. You don't live near Leeds, but the case was in Leeds. Maybe that's the nearest High Court. I don't know, because like high courts are a bit like cathedrals. Well, cities have cathedrals, and that's why they're cities, is because they have cathedrals. And we're back again. I don't know why it does it so much on Twitch, but this time it wanted to change the stream key. Like, my stream key needed changing. Steve, get off the telly. So I can't remember. It's really late at night now, and my brain's gone for that. But so I can't remember why I thought it would be the 17th, but that was my hunch date. Maybe we'll just say that is my hunch date. But my hunch is that he's going to Exeter Court. But I agree with what Trish was saying. She didn't go. Maybe it was her nearest High Court. So I think that what will happen to Alan is he'll be summoned to the nearest High Court, and that'll be Exeter. And I think that they've got busy with court. Like, if they've got a serious crime that has to be dealt with, like one of these was a murder, like then the murder has to be heard, and everything else goes on the back burner. But there's like a list of court cases, and we talked before about how Alan's in like a pile of cases, and they will come up on a day, and he will go in, it will happen quickly, he will go out. It's not going to be like all day we're talking about Alan, Your Honour. You know, today we're doing the case of Alan, and it's going to happen all day. No, they'll just be like, you know, quite formulaic, quite, you know what I mean? It'll be business as usual for them. They'll have 10 different cases on that day, one of which will be Alan's. They'll have a day of defamation cases, so to speak, and they'll whip through them. So my prediction is that now that the court is definitely sitting again, because they have the summer off, you know, like the schools and the government has the summer off, and so do the courts. So they're sitting again, and they've taken a serious case just recently, so maybe that got in the way. But this process is now moving, and Alan's case is listed. We all know, like, you know, he's even talking about it. I just wonder, you know, stay with the family, have the day off, go to the court. The family probably live closer, like Weston-super-Mare. Is Vinnie's bar in Weston-super-Mare? Yes. But Exeter, Exmouth. I mean, I didn't say which family. Maybe he's got family in Exeter. I don't know. It just makes me wonder whether he's like, yeah, I'm just going to have, why was no explanation for having this day off? And then he did talk about the court case a lot.
Sorry to tell him, I don't watch them, so I don't know what they're doing. I don't care what they're doing. I don't know anything about them anymore.
Liar.
Anyway, it's been lovely talking to you, and I think I'm having tomorrow off.
I don't even know what day this was, you know, in my brain now, but
I have tomorrow off to ever think of what to do for the rest of my life.
With the rest of my life. So again, I'm questioning here whether Alan is saying, he does seem a bit lost. He's either on a hard beg, you know, I'm going to have to stop doing this unless you give me money. It's unbearable to me in a way when you say that, because I did this for no money. I did not for no money, no. Capital K dropped a sub bomb. Snippies gave me loads of tippies. But, like, you know, I didn't have the same financial general support that I do now. And I wasn't making as much money. But I was doing it because you put in the work and it pays off later. And, like, for Alan to sort of hold his content to ransom like this is disgusting. And that could be what he's doing. But the other cold truth of it could be that, like, tomorrow is the court date, and they could say to him, sorry, Mr. Vinicum, as part of this, the court has found in favour of Mr. Rusick, and you are no longer to broadcast your rubbish on the internet. And, like, Alan might see this as the end of his internet. Like, he doesn't know what's coming, does he? So he might be laying the nest here. You know, he said, I might have to call you on the phone from now on. I might have to just be on the phone, and I might have to get a job. Like, and in real life, he might just have to get a job and stop doing the internet if the court tell him to. Might like TikTok not paying him. Yeah, it's the financial break as well. Of course, before that happens, if it was just the financials, I would expect Alan to just go hard on them and say, look, we're not getting the money that we used to. Well, I'm not. I'm going to need you all to step up to another layer, another tier. We're going to have a new patron tier, and it's going to be like people who just want me to exist and don't care if we're not getting the views tier. Can you sign up to that? I'm surprised he dresses up his grift, like, you know, dresses up the I'll do painting for you. I'll do a painting for you and I'll sell you that. I saw a really good, actually, just off the top of my head, I won't get the same picture now, but decoupage on dresser. I saw some really lovely decoupage, like, on a dresser that they were selling. that someone was selling on the internet, and I just thought of Alan and his paintings. Let's have a tools size large. It's getting late now, but yeah. Let's have a tool size large, and let's have a hand painted. Will this be big enough? No, it's only small, but it's big enough. Look, you know, on a chest of drawers, someone's done some painting and they upcycled it, and it looks great, and they're selling that. And like, I thought of Alan. I saw this thing, and I thought, oh, Alan's shit. Looks awful, and he's just blagging. Like, why does he pretend and do the blag? Like, you know, why does he pretend? Why doesn't he just say to them, look, I'm not going to do your painting. Instead, I just want you to give me another $100, please. Like, we all know it. Everyone knows it. The paintings are shit. We all know it. And the way he laughs here when he says it, though, it makes me think it's just a threat rather than a true statement of his intent. But yeah,
Probably might see you tomorrow night. I'm not allowed to sell paintings on Rumble. Do you know that?
really?
Trolls have checked it out and told me.
The trolls or your spanners?
One of the trolls sent me an email. I hope you're not going to start selling your paintings on Rumble. It's not allowed.
Why would a troll do that? They'd wait for him to do it. I mean, if I'm talking to the troll that did it, sorry if I'm dissing you, but you should have waited for him to do it and then reported him.
I didn't know that you're not allowed to sell. Do you know that? I think you check that out for me. You're not allowed to sell paintings on.
Unless the troll is trolling them by just telling him bullshit and he doesn't know and he's just following it. It's weird, isn't it? What's he laughing about?
Oh, God. Maybe I can sell them on TikTok. I don't know. There's so much to learn. I've got so much to learn about the technicalities of Rumble and TikTok.
So you don't intend to get a job then? You do intend to keep broadcasting on both those platforms and grifting for money? So everything was bollocks?
Got that to do. Sam, I am not on there. I don't know if you can or not. At least my spanners are getting better mental health, aren't they? They were always worried about me or checking up on the trolls or what the trolls said today. And at least they've got more spare time now. I'm glad that my spanners have got more time on their hands to live a life, now.
What? What is he even talking about?
Set up a TikTok shop. Yeah.
And who are you going to sell the stuff to?
I don't know if Kaka's here tonight, is she? I haven't seen her. Guess she might be. Instigator. Right, I'm off. Thanks very much, guys. I might come on tomorrow night. I might not. Not sure yet.
Didn't.
But I will be on Patreon a lot more from now on.
He said YouTube. He nearly said YouTube, but he said Patreon.
I've got to. This is where it belongs. This is where we are. And I'm going to bring you clearer images of the driveway. That's my ambition, is to bring you. I'll be working next week on somehow getting better apps to clear the pictures up. And I'm going to come up with the main points of NK that need looking at. And then I'm going to put them all together and ask people, how can you say she's done nothing but sleep with a married man when she's done this?
That's what you should have done. Like, if that was your point, ages ago. So it's far too little too late. And I don't know what Nancy's doing. And like the images of the driveway thing was ridiculous. Like, to clean up the images, what do you think? The computer's just going to enhance them? What you mean is you don't have good pictures of the driveway, but you think someone might get you some photographs, so you're holding off and you're going to say that he's getting really desperate, because that was just a last minute plea. He probably just made that up off the top of his head. Like, and or maybe that's their plan to get him out of the shit that they've briefed him with earlier. But like, remember who he's saying it to, you know?
Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much. Good night, Spanners.
Night, and his little smile. Good night, Spanners, you fucking idiots, he thinks. You chuffers, I could come on at any time of the day or night, he thinks, and I could give you a load of shit about Nicole Kessinger. literally make up some lies, tell you next week's going to be better, and you'll fucking suck it up. He's always got those. He's always got the spanners. He's always got them. Now fully fueled of narcissistic fuel again, he can not sleep but play poker into the night and masturbate in the child's bedroom. So yeah, that's where I'll leave that at 5 o'clock in the morning. I will endeavour to get that uploaded so that I can stream following it tomorrow, so that I don't have to repeat. Well, no, actually, like, it was 10 minutes at the start. Maybe I just, maybe that was just between us. I don't know.
Thanks a lot. Cheerio.
But yeah, you be good, my little puckos. Interesting little bit there. You be good, my little puckos. And if you can't be good, you're naughty.